Today I'm going to be ranking all of the major guilds in the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. Of course, this is my personal opinion. And yes, there's only 5 major guilds in the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. Technically, there's like minor guilds like the Blades, the Dragon Guild, and all that type of stuff. But the Blades, you just join through it when you're doing the main plot of the game. It's actually completely optional. You can actually outright say no. Then you get the Dragon Guild, which you get automatically when you complete the game and all that type of stuff. You just get reward dragon armor, and that's all you get. It doesn't really have any quests or anything like that. Actually, I'll show you right here because I brought this up before I started this video. So you've got all these type of stuff. Obviously, Blackwood Company, it's not really a guild you can join, all that type of stuff. But some of these you can. You could make the argument, say yes, the Knights of the Nine or the Throne or technically are considered a guild, but it's more of a DLC main plot. And I guess it really depends on what you think about that personally. To be honest, if I was ranking them, I'd be putting them in a DLC category. That's actually what I put them in when I ranked all the Elder Scrolls games. I ranked the DLCs separate compared to the base game because the DLCs are big enough to actually be considered, maybe not their own game. I wouldn't say go that far, but they're different enough. Some of the DLCs in the Elder Scrolls games are different enough. But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? So we may as well start with the Dark Brotherhood, since it's first in the order. The Dark Brotherhood is freaking amazing. Obviously, I'm not going to go into all the details, all that type of stuff. Pretty much all the Assassin's Guilds in general in every Elder Scrolls game is pretty interesting. Like Daggerfall's Dark Brotherhood, quite basic, but you had to kill people and that was fun. Uh, Morrowind, the Morgon Tong, quite interesting. Obviously, Oblivion, and then Skyrim. Skyrim is probably the worst of the worst version of the Dark Brotherhood, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But hey, I talk about that when we talk about. I talk about that in my Skyrim list, not this. But anyway, so Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood. So it's quite easy to join. You have to kill a certain NPC. Any sort of innocent NPC to join, and you might be able to kill a guard. Technically, it can bug out sometimes, and anybody can kill an NPC, and you could, if as long as it's an innocent NPC, and technically they get listen, they'll still show up when you go to sleep. It's kind of funny, but hey, that's Oblivion for you. It's a janky, broken mess, but you know we all love it because of that. If it wasn't so janky, it might be, people might not love it as much. Nah, I think it'd be a good game regardless. But yeah, you join it from that. Obviously, once you join, you rank up pretty much like all the other guilds and all that type of stuff. Get ranks, get higher up. It's really cool. I like that in Oblivion and Morrowind compared to Skyrim, where you just go straight to the fucking. You go straight from like a rookie in like 2-3 hours. You go straight to the master, and you don't even get promotions or any of that type of stuff. I don't like that about Skyrim, but anyway, we're talking about Oblivion. So, as I said, you join, you get basic kill missions, kill this target, all that type of stuff. But then you get to a very interesting quest, which is the freaking it's like a party sort of house where everybody's looking for treasure and that. You get 6 NPCs, all different races, all not trusting each other and trying to find this treasure in this house. You kill them however you want. It's a really cool quest. They get suspicious and say, "Oh, it must be this dark elf that killed this person or something." The NPCs are actually quite racist against each other when the murder stream starts. It's kind of funny. You got to actually kind of do the quest fast because if it actually takes too slow, the NPCs will actually just straight up stand in the air. Technically, you can still complete the quest like that, but I always like to go for the bonuses. Yes, the bonuses are really fun and worth going for. But Dark Brotherhood, absolutely amazing. So obviously you get later on where you get Lucian's contracts and that, then you find out it actually wasn't Lucian giving you contracts, and you're killing all the speakers, you're killing all the black hand, aren't they? Yeah, the dark hand and all that type of stuff. Kill that, then you kill the listener, and Lucy's like, "What? What the fuck, man?" But it turns out, no, you're not betrayed. It was someone else setting them up in their circle. Then you find out later, Lucian tells you to go to this location. Then you get that stuff. Then you go to Lucian. Then he's freaking dead. Then you go to Dark Brotherhood. Then obviously you go to Night Mother and all that type of stuff at the end. But there's a cool little Easter egg, by the way, that a lot of people probably don't know is when you go to this murderer's house, you can pick up a certain NPC's head. It's a dead woman's head, dead old lady's head, right? So you pick up her head, right? You go back to the Dark Brotherhood, you go to the Black Hand, like when they first introducing you, telling you to become one of them, right? Then you talk to all the NPCs, but you put this head down to a certain NPC. You're like, "Is that a head?" It's so funny. It's like, can I just kill that guy there? It's clearly he's the traitor. It was kind of funny of a neat dialogue that is. I just wanted to bring that up because I don't think everybody knows about that, but it's really fun. Alright, but anyway, let's talk about the Fighters Guild. I'm going to be honest, the Fighters Guild is an interesting type of guild. It's quite basic, it's quite generic. You hunt and kill stuff. You get a competition to the Fighters Guild later on called Blackwood Company, which is like just a worse version of like just a worse version because I like drug their opponents and all that type of stuff. There's not really a lot to say about the Fighters Guild. It is interesting. You get depromoted at a certain point. Then you got to prove yourself and rank up again, and you eventually become the master of the guild. It's very. It doesn't really have a storyline, if I'm going to be completely honest to you, and it's not the most funnest storyline, if I'm going to be completely honest. So don't really have a lot to say about the Fighters Guild. It's just a basic, fight, kill stuff, hunt down this ammo, hunt down this bandit group, kill this leader, all that type of stuff. Then you get the conflict between the Fighters Guild and Blackwood Company later on, which is quite interesting. But apart from that, I would say I'd probably put it in the middle. It's all right. It's quite annoying. I might actually consider putting it in B. The reason why I'm putting it in C, because there's a certain bit in the quest line where you have to follow this NPC like for miles, and he's really annoying. Like the problem, this is just an issue of Oblivion in personal. More ones a bit like this as well. If you have to follow an NPC, though you don't really have to do that. The Elder Scrolls 3 thank fuck compared to the Elder Scrolls 4. But there's this bit you have to follow this NPC. It takes ages and he walks so slow. That's just a minor complaint. To be honest, I'm just complaining for the sake. But he like walks for miles, and you can't just wait on like Skyrim. That's a good change they made in Skyrim where you could just wait and the NPC would just teleport to the area you need to go. But you wait, you just sit there and wait. So you got to follow him around and all that type of stuff. That's really my only probably issue with the guild, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And next is the Mages Guild. The Mages Guild is really fun. I don't think it's the best guild ever, but I generally think it's a really, really good guild. The Mages Guild is very good compared to its Skyrim counterpart. Why did they not bring back the Mages Guild in Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim? Why the frick did they destroy them completely and have this crappy College of Winterhood quest line, which is literally just a bad version of Harry Potter? And if you don't like Harry Potter, well, like me, you're probably going to not like the College of Winterhold at all. But at least the Mages Guild in Oblivion actually felt like a proper mage guild and all that type of stuff. It's got a cool system. So you start with the lowest rank of associate, but you have to get approved by every city to get invited to the university. And it's really cool. You do basic quests, and like I said, I don't want to go into detail about every single quest because this would be like an hour-long video if I did. But you do that, you get applied, you do that, you do some of them are interesting ones, especially that one of that guy, you have to find that freaking water thing under it, or the betrayal, and all that type of stuff that want to trick you. Then you finally get into the university, then you can create your staff! You get a quest where you get to create your stuff. I obviously kind of just find the parts quite basic. The game tells you and all that, of course. But then you get to pick what you want. Do you want like fire, lightning, paralysis, whatever you want. Obviously, you can't get absolutely everything, but you can. You just. I think that's like somewhere between. I think it's like 7 to 9 picks. I believe you can put whatever you want on your staff, which is I found really cool. Obviously, I recommend paralysis to anybody. Paralysis is really, really good and broken, but hey, go with whatever you want, of course. That's really, really fun. Then you get later, not a lot. It gets a little bit generic, of course. You got this. Then you get to the puzzle quest. A vampire, that vampire guy that works for the Mages Guild, and that's quite interesting. I think the only disappointment is you can't betray the Mages Guild and join maybe the Necromancers. If I'm going to be honest, I think that's really the only disappointment. Like, what can we please best add this in Elder Scrolls 6? Add an option where you can betray the guild and join the Necromancer Guild. I think that'd be really, really sick. Or just add in a Necromancer Guild in general. So obviously Necromancers get more powerful and all that, and the mages quit. You rank up and all that type of stuff. As I said, I could go in details for ages and ages and ages about this, but overall, I would say it's a really, really fun guild. So I'm going to put it in the A tier. I think it's a really good guild. It's not perfect. Some of the missions and that are a bit flawed and quite generic and all that type of stuff. But hey, also you don't have to do as many puzzles compared to Skyrim's College Guild either. There's quite common puzzles. I'm not really a puzzle person when it comes to the Elder Scrolls games. I just think they're just more of a nuisance than being difficult. They're more just there just to slow down the player, personally. But that's just my opinion, and I feel like they went a bit too far in puzzles when it came to Skyrim compared to Morrowind and Oblivion, which I felt like had a lot less puzzles compared to Skyrim. But anyway, let's talk about the arena. So the arena is not a lot to say about this guild. So I guess technically this does count as the guild. There's this certain orc guy which is the arena champion. You get to find out about his family. and all that type of stuff. You have to go to a certain generic place to get a book. Then you find that he was beat by a bunch of vampires, and it's actually quite a sad. It's quite sad because he thought he was royalty. He doesn't think he was he didn't think he was a vampire, half vampire, and all that type of stuff. It's certainly interesting. It's certainly an interesting part. But after that, obviously, you got to fight a bunch of stuff. You rank up, you level up, you fight a bunch of NPCs and get pretty difficult later on. It's actually a really good place to do. Once you just get out of the sewage at the start of the game, you just go straight there and do that guild and just fly through that guild. It's actually quite a good fast way to level up effectively in the early game. Of course, unless you're trying to do an optimization level up, I actually don't recommend you do that if you're trying to mid max. But if you're not mid-maxing, very, very fun in the early game. Good way to get level. Obviously, you can do it whenever you want. You can do it at high level as well, though. Oblivion doesn't have the best balancing, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think if you did it at like level 20, every NPC in the freaking would be wearing like Daedra armor. Half of them would be wearing like Daedra helmets and that type of stuff. So I don't actually recommend you do the Arena Guild at level 20. Actually, I forgot to mention, that's actually a little bit of a flaw of the Mages Guild. Is if you're playing as like a light armored, fast attack character, the mages don't really stand a chance because magic is not that powerful. Magic is not that overpowered against the player in Oblivion. It's obviously if you're playing on max difficulty, it's obviously annoying. But you're literally torturing yourself if you're playing Oblivion on max difficulty. But I mean, literally. But that was the only problem. I wish you got some battle mages, necromancers, and all that type of stuff in the mages guild. But I forgot to mention that. But anyway. The Arena Guild, I put the Arena Guild in BT. I think it's better than the Fighters Guild, but it's quite basic. You fight stuff, you level up, become the Arena Champion. And all that. Obviously, you have bonus jobs and all that. Which, by the way, is such a really cool thing about Oblivion. So obviously you get a certain job. Once you can become the Guild Master, you can ask NPCs that work for you and that once you say, "Oh, go and do this job for me. Go and make some money for me." For example, Dark Brotherhood, you assassinate people every week, then you get your cut. Yeah, I like that. It's really cool. I think that's a really cool system. The Fighters Guild's got something like that as well. Then, sadly, the Arena Guild... No, the Arena Guild's not too bad. You got to do it yourself. But I really like that. You can ask your minions to do it and you get paid every week. Instead of having to do it yourself, I thought that was a really bad thing with Skyrim, like the Radiant Quest crap. Why do when I become the boss of the guild, why do I have to do the work? You're supposed to be doing the work, not me. I'm your boss. That's the problem with Skyrim in general. But anyway, let's talk about the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild is fucking amazing in Oblivion. It is so good. You actually feel like a proper thief. Unlike Skyrim's Thieves Guild, where the first half of Skyrim's Thieves Guild is really good, but the second half you become a nightingale, then you got to like you're constantly getting in combat. Obviously, you can ignore the combat, but then the NPCs fall and you get caught and all that type of stuff. Even if you have 100 stealth NPCs, still going to occasionally walk in. And I just felt like it was too much combat compared to Oblivion's Thieves Guild, which there's barely any combat at all. However, I will give one flaw to Oblivion's Thieves Guild, which I think is a really stupid mechanic, is the blood thing. Blood Tribulation or whatever it is. I can't remember the name at the top of my head. I played Oblivion like 3 months ago on the channel, and I honestly cannot remember. That's actually quite embarrassing. I did a full playthrough, and I've actually forgot about the Blood Tribulation or whatever it was called. That's silly. I forgot the name of it, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so you do that. I forgot to mention that the bonuses are really good in Dark Brotherhood as well. The bonus objectives. I forgot to mention that when we talked about the Dark Brotherhood. But anyway, we're not in Dark Brotherhood anymore. Anyway. So, you got to join, so obviously you got to get in prison. You don't just join like Skyrim. Technically you can ask beggars around, or you can find the wanted posters and report somewhere at night, or just get a certain NPC to speak to you eventually, which will eventually happen to you once you get to a higher level in the game, regardless, even if you don't talk to the guild whatsoever, they just start noticing who you are. So you do them. For the first quest, it's quite interesting. Of course, you got to steal money first, the quickest. Then to do jobs, you have to get some gold, a decent amount. You have to get like 50 gold every time you unlock a new job. Though, I will be straight up honest, you can just get like 2,000 or 3,000 gold value. Just steal something that's like 2,000 or 3,000 gold value, steal multiple things. Then use it for a trader, one of those trader guys that you use for the guild. And honestly, just do that. Just do that, and you can pretty much complete the whole entire quest line without having to do that collecting stuff ever again if you don't want to. But I do like that actually you have to do that to get new jobs. The jobs are really interesting. The one you had to go in the castle and swap that ring was a really cool one. The last one was freaking amazing for the Grey Fox. We did this big heist, really cool. Yeah, the dungeon first. I guess the dungeon kind of had some combat, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And it was the only time in the game where you actually had to use archery to solve a fucking puzzle. Unlike Skyrim, where you're forced to use archery in that game to solve like fucking 50% of the fucking puzzles in the game. Even though the game doesn't tell you in advance. I gotta bring that as a criticism of Skyrim. What happens if you don't want to use a bow whatsoever? You actually have to use a bow to pass some puzzles. It's kind of dumb, but hey, that's Skyrim for you, not Oblivion. I've made a video about Skyrim's guilds anyway. Obviously, I'll rank them high and that all that type of stuff. But anyway, I'm going on for long enough. I'm going to put in the S tier. Absolutely amazing guild. Not as good as Dark Brotherhood. I think it's really, really, really good build, and I was really disappointed with the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. It felt more like the Fighters Guild than the Thieves Guild, especially the second half of the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. But in Oblivion, you actually feel like a true thief and all that type of stuff, and it's not buggy like Morrowind's Thieves Guild. You can't really pickpocket in that Thieves Guild unless you got a mod. The chance of stealing something is like awful. That's Morrowind's Thieves Guild for you. Yeah, that's kind of rough, but we're not talking about Morrowind. Yeah, it's doable. It's doable. You can deal with it and you can survive. There's other ways to get stuff in Morrowind's Thieves Guild, but yeah, I'd say Oblivion is probably the best Thieves Guild in the entire franchise. Daggerfall's Thieves Guild are quite basic, but really fun. They did a really good job of the guilds in Oblivion. I think they put a lot of work into the guild. In fact, we're not even talking about the main quest. Technically, the main quest is not a guild, but I think Oblivion's main quest, like I'd probably put Skyrim's main quest in a D, but if I was ranking the quest line, but I'd probably put Oblivion like in a C, obviously I'd put Morrowind like a or S. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. But anyway, that's my list of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion major guilds. But anyway, let me know in the comments where you put them, what your list is like. Is it the same as mine, or is it different? What would you say? But anyway, I've got nothing else to say, so I will see you all next time. Peace out and bye.